This is the story of Samson, the super strong man chosen by God. A long time ago in the land of Israel, there was a group of people called the Israelites. These were God's special people, but during this time, they were in big trouble. The Israelites had been disobeying God, and because of that, they were being ruled by their enemies, the Philistines. The Philistines were not kind. They made life very hard for the Israelites, and the people were sad, scared, and waiting for someone to help them. But God had a plan. In a quiet village, there lived a man named Manoah and his wife. They didn't have any children, but one day, something amazing happened. An angel from God appeared to Manoah's wife. The angel told her, "You are going to have a baby. He will be very special. He will grow up to save Israel from the Philistines, but you must never cut his hair because he will belong to God from the day he is born." Just like the angel said, the woman had a baby boy. She named him Samson. From the moment Samson was born, God's power was with him. As he grew older, he became very, very strong. Not just strong like someone who lifts weights. He had super strength. He was stronger than any man who had ever lived. He could break ropes like string and fight lions like they were kittens. But Samson wasn't just strong for fun. He had a purpose. God wanted him to protect Israel from their enemies and show them what real courage looked like. One day, when Samson was walking through a vineyard, something scary happened. A lion came roaring out of the bushes. Most people would have screamed and run away, but not Samson. The Spirit of God filled him with strength, and he grabbed the lion with his bare hands and tore it apart. Just like that. No sword, no shield, just God's power. Later, Samson saw honey inside the bones of that same lion. He reached in and took some to eat. This might sound like a small thing, but it showed that Samson sometimes did things his own way instead of God's way. Even though Samson was chosen by God, he didn't always make good choices. He sometimes let his feelings lead him instead of listening to God. He fell in love with women from the land of the Philistines, even though they didn't believe in the one true God. One of those women was named Delilah. Now, Delilah wasn't like Samson. She didn't love God, and she didn't love Samson the way she said she did. The Philistines offered her money if she could find out the secret to Samson's strength. So Delilah came up with a sneaky plan. She asked Samson again and again, "What makes you so strong? What is your secret?" At first, Samson didn't tell her the truth. He played tricks on her. He said things like, "If you tie me up with new ropes, I'll lose my strength." But every time she tried one of his fake answers, he broke free easily. This made the Philistines very angry. They wanted to capture Samson, but they couldn't as long as he stayed strong. Delilah didn't give up. She kept asking. She begged. She cried. Day after day, she said, "If you really love me, tell me your secret." Finally, Samson gave in. He told her the truth. He said, "I have never cut my hair. From the day I was born, I have been set apart for God. If my hair is cut, I will lose my strength and be as weak as any other man." That night, while Samson was sleeping, Delilah quietly cut off all his hair. Then she called the Philistines, and they rushed in to capture him. Samson woke up, but something was different. His strength was gone. God's power had left him. The Philistines tied him up and hurt him. They even made him blind so he couldn't see. They laughed and made fun of him and threw him in prison. It seemed like Samson's story was over. It seemed like the Philistines had won. But God wasn't finished yet. While Samson sat in prison, something began to happen. His hair started to grow back. More importantly, Samson began to remember who he really was. He began to pray. He knew he had made mistakes, but he also knew that God still loved him. One day, the Philistines had a big celebration. They were in a giant temple, and thousands of people came to see Samson, the man they had captured. They brought him out to make fun of him. They didn't know that God had one more plan for his hero. Samson stood between the two huge pillars that held up the whole temple. He prayed, "Lord God, please remember me. Please give me strength one more time." Then, with all his might, Samson pushed on the pillars. He pushed with everything he had. The pillars cracked and groaned, and suddenly the whole building came crashing down. The roof fell and the walls tumbled. All the Philistines inside were defeated. Samson gave his life to save his people. He had made mistakes, but in the end, he trusted God and became a true hero. So, what can we learn from Samson? Even when we mess up or forget to do what is right, God can still use us. He never gives up on us. Samson was strong on the outside, but when he learned to trust God, he became strong on the inside too. Obeying God is always the best choice. When we listen to God and follow His ways, we can do amazing things. And finally, true strength doesn't just come from muscles or power. Real strength comes from believing in God and doing what is right.